Namaskar, Vandanam, Assalamu Alaikum, and Sat Sri Akal. At the end of all of it, the crest, the pinnacle, the epitome is the word called liberation. Liberation. Again, let's start with the question. Does it mean freedom? So if it means freedom, then freedom from what? Freedom from who? Freedom from where? Right? Because freedom means the act of setting someone free, isn't it? From imprisonment, from slavery, from oppression, release. Or is it freedom from the limits or limitations of thoughts and behavior? Well, again, in spirituality, it is, removing the limitations of your thoughts and of your behavior. That's what liberation means. Spiritual liberation, spiritual awakening, spiritual birth. Spiritual liberation results from discovering and experiencing or expressing the intrinsic qualities of an enlightened consciousness that have been yours since the moment you came into existence, since the time of birth. It's there. Like I always say, it's lying inside you, latent. You must make it patent and then make it potent. Latent, patent, potent. When you're there, you'll get there. Right? Simply put, liberation is living up to your highest potential. Conscious activation of the purpose, right? That's liberation. So what exactly are we liberating here? Is it your body, or is it something else, not your body? Well, you can't liberate your body because at some point you will die. We all will die. And the body perishes, whether it is buried or whether it is cremated. The body will perish. So what you're liberating is not your body, but something that gives you life. That is your soul. So you're liberating your soul from the conscious cycle of birth and death. That's what you're liberating yourself from. Your true self, your inner self, that spiritual self, not your person self, which is, whoever you are, whatever name you are known by, So what you're liberating is your mind, so that your mind can liberate your soul and you are freed from this cycle or bondage of birth and death, right? So I'll tell you the story of Shankaracharya, right? You can never get enough of him. Well, I can't. Comes in one of his sutras, and it's called the mind and the stormy ocean. The mind and the stormy ocean. Once Shankara was walking with his disciple called Ananda. Shankara and Ananda were strolling on the beach by the ocean, right? It was a rather cold day up north, and the wind was blowing strongly over the ocean, and slowly they could see high waves were being raised. After walking for some time, Shankara stopped, looked at his disciple, and said, "Look at the choppy ocean. What does it remind you of?" Because they could see the wind, and then they could see the waves rising, and the ocean was becoming a bit more choppy. So Shankara stopped, looked at the ocean, looked at Ananda, and said, "Ananda, what does that choppy ocean remind you of?" And Ananda, being, the right sort of disciple, gave a nice answer. He says, "Master, it reminds me of my mind and my rushing and senseless thoughts, or restless thoughts," answered Ananda. He said, "Yes, the stormy ocean is like the mind, and the waves are the thoughts," Shankara explained. He said, "The mind is neutral, like the water. It is neither good nor bad. The wind is creating the waves. The wind is creating the waves as desires and fears, and these are the things that produce the thoughts. And the thoughts is what gives you that restlessness." And then Ananda says, "That's true, Master. Well, I wouldn't want to be a boat in the middle of the ocean in a storm like this." And Ananda said. But Shankara says, "But you are there all the time in this storm. Most people are on a rudderless boat, most people are on a rudderless boat in the middle of a choppy ocean, even they don't realize that. Even if they do not realize it, they're there. The mind of most people is very restless. Thoughts of all kinds flood the mind unnecessarily and incessantly, agitating the mind, just like this choppy ocean. Yes, Master, Ananda said, yes, Master, I know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know that. This is the reason why I'm here, why I'm your student, I'm your disciple. I want to learn from you how to calm these waves in my mind. Shankara looked at Ananda and said, you don't calm the ocean by holding the water and not letting it move. See, listen to this carefully. He says, you don't calm the ocean by holding the water and not letting it move. What is necessary to stop the wind? What is the wind? The wind is your thoughts, your desires, your fears. That's what you need to calm down. Don't let them rule your life. You have to learn to control them, and by controlling them, you will control your attention and your focus. Then the ocean of your mind will become peaceful, will become calm. Ananda says, okay, that's fine. How do I do that? He says, suppose it is possible, right? Suppose, Shankara says, suppose it is possible for the ocean to disregard the wind. What will happen then? Shankara asked. The waves would cease. However, no one can stop the wind. Ananda says, Shankara looked at Ananda and said, in his smile, mysterious smile, he said, you can calm down the winds in your mind, which make the ocean of your mind restless. The winds are your thoughts, and the ocean is your mind. Yes, Master, I realize that. He said, the first thing you must do is calm down the wind. You cannot stop the wind, but you can calm down the wind, isn't it? Calm it down. Then the slower the wind blows, the lesser, the choppier bit on the ocean of your mind. So you will have a bit more clarity because your thoughts are flowing lesser and lesser. Focus is more on the calmness of the ocean. That is your mind. You'll have more control of your life once you start doing that. Little by little, as they always say, little drops of water, little grains of sand make the mighty ocean and the pleasant land. In the same way, little by little you control the mind, and the stormy ocean will also become calm and peaceful. Control the inner world first before you can control the outer world. Learn to focus on your mind. Develop willpower, self-discipline. How? Through meditation. Quieten the outside by quietening the inside. That will lead you to liberation and the experience of constant bliss. You know what Einstein said? Einstein says the true value of a human being can be founded on the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. Well, fantastic, My true self is free. It cannot be contained. Aurobindo says that. My true self is free. It cannot be contained. Right? And Swami says, selfless love and forgiveness is the way to true liberation. Selfless love and forgiveness is the true way to liberation. And of course, the Buddha says, the highest happiness is when one reaches the stage of liberation at which there is no more suffering. Until I see you all next time, stay blessed. Anyada sharanam nasti.